Stapleton Roy is the director of the Woodrow Wilson Kissinger Institute on China and the U.S. He also served as U.S. ambassador to China from 1991 through 1995. He joins us now and says that the move by the U.S. to postpone the report on currency manipulation did help ease the tensions between these two countries. He's with us from Washington. And Ambassador, do you believe that it was just that allowed for President Hu to come here to the U.S.?
It was a very important contributing factor. As you mentioned, what we've seen in recent weeks are encouraging signs of improvement in U.S.-China relations, but that's been accompanied by indications that China will begin to let its currency appreciate. Those are important steps in the right direction.
There were some saying on Friday that it was going to be this past weekend that we would see China move, allow its currency to appreciate. Clearly, that didn't happen. But how imminent do you expect a move to be?
China will move at its own pace. But I think the indications coming from Beijing suggest that we should begin to see some appreciation in the Chinese currency in the near future. But the exact predicting what day it will take place, I think, is we simply don't have that information.
Well, you know, sir, there are men who make quite a living placing bets on just that kind of timing. Given the packed political schedule that we are seeing over the next few weeks, when you say near future, do you mean next few weeks is too soon?
Not necessarily too soon, but the Chinese are not going to let us know exactly when the process may begin. But I would expect that we're going to be having a series of engagements with the Chinese over the next 2 months. And sometime in that time period, I would expect this to take place.
Walk me through the chessboard here of relations between the U.S. and China. Can we say fairly that relations are warming? And is this truly about resolution on, you know, trade, or is this really about finding a common enemy in Iran?
No, I think the Iran factor is an important factor in U.S.-China relations at the moment. But I think what this is about is trying to show that the U.S.-China relationship is not going to head in a negative direction because of the differences we have had with China recently over arms sales to Taiwan and the president's meeting with the Dalai Lama. We are not going to be able to fix our trade problems with China, but I think that if the two governments are cooperating together on important issues such as Iran, it makes it easier for us to deal with a whole host of other difficult problems.
Now, the issue of arms sales to Taiwan has been a tense one for many years. I'm sure you encountered that when you were ambassador, tension over that particular issue. Do you expect to see any kind of change in U.S. policy there?
We're not going to see an immediate change in our policy. Our policy is one that is defined in the Taiwan Relations Act, and the way we handle it is defined in the 3 U.S. joint communiques with China. But I would expect that the United States will pay attention to China's sensitivities on this issue.
Did Google make the right decision, sir, in withdrawing from the mainland and staying in Hong Kong?
None of us knows. Google made the decision for its own reasons. It justified it in terms of its commitment to free access to the Internet. That's something that we all subscribe to.
If you were ambassador during that conversation, though, how involved would you have been, and what kind of advice would you be giving to the current ambassador?
This is largely a business decision by Google. So while if I were in Beijing at the moment, I would expect to have been in touch with Google representatives, but they have to make their own business decisions based on their business strategy in China.
Well, it's something that we're going to continue to watch, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us.